Hi guys, welcome back to Let's Go Mental. My name is Warime. Now in today's video, as you can see, we are at Uhuru Gardens. We are enjoying the beautiful morning sun, and today with me I have Lucy. I will just let her introduce herself.
Hi everyone, my name is Mukuria. If you've ever watched the True North channel, then you know that we talk about mental health, we talk about mental health care management, and I'm a career psychologist, a military psychologist specifically, and I don't know, you just called me an activist and I'm like, am I an activist? And I think I am.
Yeah, you're an activist fighting for the people.
No, I'm not fighting. I'm actually not fighting. I'm lovingly convincing people to see my point of view.
Yeah.
I want to
put it in a subtle way.
No, not subtle. That's actually the way it is. Because I'm not fighting.
Yeah.
I'm just very lovingly saying, please consider it from this perspective.
Yeah.
Of course, when it comes to issues to do with military veterans and their families and their care, their transition, their reintegration, and their ability to engage in economic activities that will support their recovery, and as well be able to help generate income to support themselves and their families.
Okay.
I also consult privately. Essentially.
Okay.
Anything to deal with crisis and emergency situations.
Yes.
And creating psychologically safe spaces at the workplace. Yeah, that's what I do.
Oh, it's such a strange thing because I mean we're in campus together.
I know.
So you'd imagine you'll all go into the corporate world, and I mean, you know, it's
I mean, it's not something I planned for. But I guess even like from my undergrad days, the days of community service, internship, I did all those things in public spaces. Like, you know, I started my community service in Mathare. I did my internship at K&H. I've always felt like being able to work in these public spaces is what is the true face of this country. Not in corporate, private, you know. I think those just serve to sort of, you know, it's just an insulated world, I think. So during that period, I also happened to go, you know, to high-end psychiatric hospitals, and realizing that people suffered from the same mental health illnesses. The only difference was who could afford to access care. But at the end of the day, the bottom line was that whether you're rich or you're poor, depression is the same. Whether you're rich or you're poor, alcoholism is the same. Whether you're rich or you're poor, dependency is real. Whether you're rich or you're poor, trauma is...
It's across the board.
It's the same. People behave the same way. The only difference is that somebody can afford care, this other person can't afford care. So I think being able to build, especially mental health care systems, where anybody who has, you know, anybody can get access and get professional services, and it not become about affordability, will save ourselves a lot. Because even these people who felt they were like, oh my God, we can afford to pay 300,000 per month for your rehabilitation from addiction. That could happen once, it happens twice, but the third time, damn, there's no money. So you end up in that, you know. So if we're to be able to just have services that are professionally uniform across the board, then more people would be able to be helped, so that there's no poverty because of mental illness, which is the thing that I have found to be so common. That your lack of money is what will actually cause your mental health to deteriorate, and not the mental illness itself. If that even makes sense.
It does.
Not even the mental illness itself. So if we are to be able to make access to mental health care possible, affordable, professional, we can actually address even poverty.
I totally agree. And I agree with you on that one, because you see, in my case, I used to work right? And then unfortunately, because I didn't know what depression was, I mean, I just knew about it, but I never imagined that I would have depression. And then unfortunately, because I was diagnosed when I was severely depressed, I had to leave work. Yeah. And after having to leave work, I mean, I have a business, but it's struggling because I'm not able to be there probably. Okay, this was initially, I'm not able to be there every day. And you know, with your business, you have to be hands-on completely, right? But you see now, of course, I've gotten to a point now where I'm able to manage my condition. But then I definitely agree with you on the point of poverty and it making the mental illness even worse.
Yeah. And they start feeding on each other. By the time it comes to like the attention of the general public, you're looking at poverty but not seeing that the underlying cause is mental illness. But then you're also seeing mental illness and you're also not understanding that it is being exacerbated by poverty. So it becomes a mixed picture. And you know, if somebody is a lazy thinker, they're just like, mentally ill people are dirty and dumb and poor and lazy. Exactly. You see, so that's now what perpetuates the stigma. And that's why anytime you're talking about mental illness, be it depression, you know, be it any kind of mental illness, there'll always be that stigma that is associated with your lack of will. You just don't want to. Why don't you will yourself? You know, and that becomes the thing that makes people even like turn away because you're just being difficult. Like mental illness is the only disease where your personal choice is the one that is expected of you, and your personal will is expected of you to get better. Nobody who has high blood pressure or diabetes is told, will yourself to get better. And will yourself to heal yourself. But in depression,
it's all about positive thinking and reading the Bible. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm a Christian, I'm very spiritual, but you know, those are some of the comments that we get. And I mean, you barely get them when it comes to a physical condition. Like, it's not the default setting.
That's what I'm saying.
So you're told, go see a doctor, and in the meantime we'll be praying for you. Keep praying and keep trusting. Okay, that's cool. So from a professional point of view, okay, you've mentioned about being a psychologist. Why do you think that mental illnesses have become very prevalent in our society?
I think, first of all, number one, we are more people. Let's start from there. Number two, we have a very evolved way of now reporting information, not just news, occurrence of any other nature, but, you know, everyday mental cases, mental health incidences, or incidences where mental illness is the underlying issue. And I guess we are now also speaking out more about it. Before, that conversation would quickly be shut down by the idea of, don't embarrass people. It's a thing in the family. Oh, it's witchcraft. They must have done something. Oh, they must have smoked weed. But I think nowadays, you know, to be able to say mental illness is something a lot more people are saying. But I think even it's not like a prevalence that's only in Kenya. I think if you're to look at the global statistics through the WHO, you'll realize there's like a general deterioration of mental health. You know, I guess that happens when you ignore a part of yourself for so long. You know, it seeks attention.
Now, since you are a professional, I have covered this definitely in my videos, but I would like you now to just touch a bit on what are the signs and symptoms that people need to look out for, both for the individual and also as family and friends.
I think, first of all, just as individuals, we need to raise our self-awareness. Raise it by just really listening, because your body and your mind will always talk to you.
True.
So I mean, just just accept it as a person, because there's something about when there's a shift that happens internally, we are so prone to the first and immediate thing, which is denial. It's not happening. It's not happening. No, not me.
Yeah.
Why me?
Yeah.
Not me.
Yeah.
So the next thing now that people do is that they look for ways to either avoid that shift that they are feeling that they can't deny, or they look for a way to suppress it.
Yeah.
You look for a way to put such a huge weight on top of it, you drown it, you sink
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But all it does is that it just goes lower, but it doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you just incubate it. And if it's just about running around it, you just run around
Yeah.
it, but
Yeah.
it doesn't go anywhere. So I think the first thing is being self-aware enough to trust your inner workings, that when there's a shift, acknowledge it. Be curious about it. Question it. Seek help about it. Professional help is always the way to go.
Yeah.
I say all the time that whilst somebody will say, talk to your pastor, talk to your friend, talk to your mother,
Yeah.
I always ask,
Yeah.
if you break your hand, do you talk to your mother about it?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Do you go like, Mom, my hand is
It's
broken.
broken.
Let's
Okay, well,
do something.
Okay, well, you tell her and then now she'll rush you to hospital.
I know, but
So,
you get what
yeah,
I'm saying.
yeah, I
Like,
get
it
what you're
doesn't
saying.
end there. At the end
Yeah.
of the day, when
Yeah.
it comes to your mind, to your body, seek professional help. You know, mental illness is also one of those ones that, you know, just breathe.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Seek professional
Yeah.
help.
No, be strong.
Hey, be strong. Yeah, that's the common
yeah,
one.
The common one. And then now another now comment is, why is she depressed?
Yes.
Me.
But
me,
you
I
have
can't-
everything.
Yeah, but you have everything.
You went to a good school, you have a good job, you
Yeah,
have money.
yeah.
You know, as though all these external things are supposed to actually save us from disease.
Yeah, true.
As if all those things are supposed to save us from disease.
Yeah.
I find it so hilarious.
Yeah.
But I think people need to hear it more and more. Your external presentation does not speak to your internal experience, you know?
Yeah.
And boxing people into that idea of, but you have everything, what could be wrong? I just think it's the most unfortunate thing ever.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
because it's like you're saying, then you should be able to not have a disease.
Yeah.
Because
exactly.
you're
because
wealthy,
you have all
because
these
you
things.
have a good job,
Yeah.
because you went to a good school, because you have a beautiful family, because you drive a big car. All those things have nothing to do with these things. I
Yeah.
think let's just recognize the human experience that people have. That we are actually, at the end of the day, very emotional beings. That's what we are. Anybody who thinks we just live out there, it's an external process.
Yeah.
Everything is driven from here and here. Everything is driven from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So now, but I would like you now to just tell us, just briefly, like signs and symptoms. What are one of them? What are the most common signs and symptoms?
I think when you're really observing somebody and you've known them and you know them, you will notice a shift. Either in their weight, their sleeping pattern, their temperance.
Yeah.
You will notice a shift in even their physical appearance. You will notice a shift even in the way they like engage, talk, or think.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
how they are spending their time. You will notice. I'm not saying that every shift should be of concern, but there
Yeah.
are those shifts where somebody, you know, has like, you know, dark.
Circles.
Yeah, means they're not sleeping well. If a person becomes very, you know, hot-tempered
Yeah,
or short-tempered, irritable.
Yeah. Or they're always teary, they're always crying. Yeah.
Exactly, that's
Yeah.
what I mean. If you had somebody who had this ability to be so high functioning, then all of a sudden you're noticing there's a drop in their performance that can't be explained by anything besides what they could be going through. You know, be it even something for themselves or in their families, or even in the workspace, because there are also workspaces
Yeah.
that
Very, very
they are
high
not
pressure.
they are not high pressure. The pressure is good,
Yeah.
but if it's not psychologically safe, like if there is bullying,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
if there is that there are certain workspaces where there's just toxicity,
Yeah.
gossiping,
Yeah.
those kind of
Oh,
things.
believe me, I've been such an environment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not healthy.
Yeah.
Where there's sexual harassment, where there, like if there's sexual harassment, you make a complaint, nothing happens, that sort of thing. Those kind of, they can affect somebody psychologically, if you go to a workplace where you're never appreciated, you're never recognized, people always take credit for everything that you do, those kind of places. That will have an impact on you in the long run. So you will notice those kind of things. There are people also, when this starts happening and they're like, maybe I'm not a true believer, maybe I'm not praying enough, the devil is trying to take my joy. So they just become highly religious. You won't have a conversation that does not have to do with reference to, and there's nothing wrong with that, but there is something called hyper religiosity.
Yeah.
And people, sometimes that's their way of going around their own suffering or their own issue. That's their way of suppressing it. I'll just invoke religion and I'm safe. No, you're not. But you'll notice that as well. Another that's with women mostly. But of course with men you'll notice, and women too, you'll notice use of alcohol, use of cocaine. That is what is common. And weed. Yes, that is also pretty common. They say recreation, but there's nothing recreation about checking the cage questionnaire, that one where you wake up in the morning and you feel like you need, something to give you a boost, and then you're telling yourself, I'm just getting a boost. But the truth is that if you don't get a boost, you'll never wake up the whole day just that's a problem right there. Or if people are like, you need to cut down on your drinking, you've had incidences like, road traffic accidents, you've had incidences of like, that place where you wake up and you're like, oh, who is this? Wait, did we have sex? Like you don't even know whether you did, whether you didn't, and the next, you're just like, what's, just chaos. That kind of chaos, and it goes in circles like that. And people just being able to notice that
there's something that has
and
changed.
You getting very pissed when people bring it up.
Actually very defensive. Very
defensive. So I would say that is it. And then of course with time you become isolated, you avoid people, people stop going to work, people stop leaving the house, others wander off, they stop talking, they stop showering, stop brushing their teeth, stop eating.
They start talking about death.
You start hearing conversations like, maybe in the next life things will be better for me, that sort of thing. But we don't have to let things get there. I think this idea of managing mental illness, we should start by actually having mental health care management in terms of including mental health care hygiene, which is preventive, because there are things that we can do to check the deterioration into mental illness that leads to suicidal thoughts, suicidal attempts, or complete suicides, or even homicides, given where we are right now, or people losing their sense of livelihood. We don't have to wait to manage
True.
mental illness. I think for me that is what I am very ambitious about. Being able to arm everybody with the individual ability to build their mental health resilience. By knowing what to do for yourself, by having a mental health hygiene that you practice faithfully. Like me, my mental health hygiene is this 6:30 thing. I come, I work out. For me, my self-care is first. Everything else comes second. If there's no self-care, there's nothing I'm doing. I'm not engaging. I'm not available. Sorry, akomteja. Because also, I think this idea that we always have to show up for other people or for other events, but the last person we always show up for is ourselves.
So interesting.
But it's the other way around. The first person we should show up for
is ourselves.
And then we show up for everybody else. Because even, the mental illness is not just this one you can treat with medicine. It's also how we think, even how we treat ourselves. I mean, if I'm constantly like eating unhealthy foods, I don't exercise, I hang out with people who don't build me, they just
put you down.
Isn't that like a form of just self-flagellation? Some form of, So I think for me, I would say that's a good place to start managing our own mental health. And understanding that this expectation that, if you're a woman, you must know how to be a mother. If you're a man, you must know how to be a father. Now I'm talking about families. This idea that everybody knows how to parent. No, I think we should be open to the possibility of learning about self-development. We should be open to the possibility of taking parental classes. We should be open, like there are no manuals for the most critical things in our lives. And those ones that when they are going badly, bring us down. Ourselves and our families. There's nothing wrong with professional help with that.
Now that you are coming to the end of the video, what's your parting shot and where can people reach you?
So, parting shot, I hope to see you here on Monday. Put yourself first.
I have to come for a workout, so I
put
shall
yourself
be here.
First. Put yourself first. Once you start doing it, is when you'll realize why you had not even been doing it before. But I think find time to take care of yourself through diet and nutrition, through what you do physically. Find time to just assess how you're feeling, and if it doesn't work for you, reach me at you can do me an email. You can go to the website www.thetruenorth.co.ke. You can write me at Mukuria at thetruenorth.co.ke. But follow the vlog, it's True North Kenya. Follow us on Twitter, on Facebook, on IG. Everything is True North. And of course, the objective is True North for everybody. Yes. Everybody to be oriented north. Where everything is just aligned for you as a person. And you're living your best life, which is possible.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much, Lucy, for taking the time to do this video with me. Guys, I hope that video was insightful. And if you have any questions, any comments, please put them in the comment section below. And don't forget to subscribe, and we shall see you in my next video.